What is pair programming? Pair programming is an agile software development technique in which two people work together. At one workstation or over screen share, it's the most common style in use, driver, navigator. Side by side on the same thing, but with independent tasks, divide and conquer. Side by side on separate things, but regularly providing support to each other, supported soloing. Pairing reinforces good programming habits, encourages constant communication, results in better quality work, keeps team members happy, productive and learning. What pair programming is not? Pair programming is not a time for either partner to take a break. It's not purely a training session. It's not a time to take charge, be critical, or to dictate to our partner. What pair programming is? This is a time for us to simply work together and focus on accomplishing a body of work. Driver, navigator. Two programmers work as a pair together on one workstation, or over screen share. One, the driver, writes code while the other, the navigator, reviews each line of code as it is typed in. The two programmers switch roles frequently. While reviewing, the navigator also considers the strategic direction of the work, coming up with ideas for improvements and likely future problems to address. This frees the driver to focus all of his or her attention on the tactical aspects of completing the current task, using the observer as a safety net and guide. The driver. The driver is the one typing the code. He has the keyboard if you're in person. The driver should talk as he or she is coding. He or she should not silently type out code. The navigator. The navigator is not dictating line by line what to type. The navigator has his or her eye on the goal stack. He's looking ahead a little. The navigator is also thinking of the strategic view. The requirements for this task, business rules, mock-up. Alternative methods for accomplishing this task. The next automated test to write. Spikes, ideas for improvement. Here are some example navigator comments. Don't forget to write an integration test for the X combination. Would it be easier if the other object handled Y? We forgot to create a task for this. So let's create the task in the PBI right now and then we can do it. Good job. So I think next we need to make the manager method, right? We missed a semicolon. Hang on, let me check Stack Overflow for that build error. I think there's a forum post for that. Got it here, look. Actually, I think we can write a client-side unit test for this. Divide and conquer. The divide and conquer strategy means two people working on the same thing, but breaking it down into separate, mostly independent tasks and then dividing them up. The pair works side by side, which gives them a high-touch environment when needed. They can pose questions to each other, get on-the-spot reviews, check in periodically, or ask for help. If some task is taking a long time, they can switch to a more classic pairing structure for that part, driver, navigator. When all the tasks are completed, the pair reviews everything together. This helps ensure that there is no siloed knowledge. Consider using this when you have to work on something that neither person is very familiar with, such as exploring a brand new library or technology. The traditional pairing model breaks down in this type of situation. How many developers does it take to Google something for a while? What if one person reads faster than the other or likes to read and absorb things in themselves first? With a divide and conquer strategy, both people can explore different parts of a problem space simultaneously, and then educate the other later. Learn and then teach. Two senior developers can use this strategy effectively too. It requires trust of the other person, and a lot of collaboration to stay in sync though. Late integration becomes a risk if the tasks are closely related and the pair diverges too much. Communication and collaboration is key. Finally, consider this strategy when you have remote team members as it lessens the reliance on real-time remote pairing. Remote pairing technologies have come a long way, but the experience can still be very painful, especially when one person does not have a great internet connection. Supported soloing. This pattern has two people working as individuals on separate things, while providing support to each other at regular intervals. The keys here are proximity and frequent check-ins. At least twice a day, the pair meets up to discuss progress, review code, get advice, etc. The pair physically works side by side, so each person still has a pair to go to when things come up. Use this when an advanced beginner dev and a competent or proficient dev are paired up. There are benefits on both sides. The more experienced developer has a reprieve from teaching and mentoring. The less experienced dev gets space to learn on their own, experiment, and fail in a safe, supported environment. It's important for the senior dev to always be available to help out the more junior person so that they don't get stuck. The pair should work together to establish how often they will check in, and when interruptions are allowed.